Hello. So I am quite tall. Yes. I also have a long neck, I don't know if you guys can see. I'm 6'4". Well, I used to be 6'1", and then one day I took a Viagra and it got stuck in my throat. You know, the other day my friend said to me, "Eric, you just look so arrogant." And I said, "First of all, it's Mr. Walsh." I can make my face even more punchable when I bite my cheeks. So I used to work in finance. I try not to use the hard I, and I was not a good employee though. I was told my email sign-off was unprofessional because I signed off with memento mori, which is Latin for remember you will die. My boss hated me. My boss was a micromanager. He was much shorter than me, and in his defense, I was not a good employee. Like, sometimes I would call out of work when I slept too well. I'd be like, "Honestly, Dave, I got an incredible night of sleep, and I'm feeling a little over the weather. You don't deserve me at my best." Memento mori. So I am from Connecticut, obviously, and the sky is blue, water is wet, and I am from Connecticut. That's what me and my boys chant when we go sailing. I grew up in Darien, Connecticut, and if you don't know Darien, it's one of those towns where even the third graders are Republican for tax reasons. When they look you in the eye, it feels like they're staring directly into your W-2. And this is going to sound a little arrogant, but I went to a very good college. I'm not going to say which one, but top 3, you know, Harvard, Yale, University of Wisconsin. My roommate in college, he served in Iraq, but he was an accountant. He was the numbers guy in Baghdad. How was that job not remote? I couldn't be in the military. I would sprain my ankle for my country, but that's about it. Here's a question for you guys. How much would you be willing to sell the next year of your life for? You lose a year, you get that amount of money.
$1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
Okay. My friend said 80 grand. Which I'm pretty sure was a cry for help. Because that's like 50 grand after tax. I kind of want to purchase my friend and then resell him at a higher price. My answer, I think, would be like 3 to 5 million. I think something like that. I enjoy my life. You know, I read recently, apparently the best indicator of good mental health is spontaneity. Needless to say, I'm flourishing. Are any of you guys afraid of death?
Used to be.
Used to be? Okay. I still currently am. I don't know if this is relatable, but I hate when someone dies and they don't disclose how the person died. Is that relatable? Yeah, I wish I could pay like $20 for the premium obituary. I'd pay $40 if they included his secrets. I can't say this definitively, but I'm pretty sure the other day this guy Pythagorean theoremed me at the Urinal. He asked me how tall I am. Then he asked me my shoe size. And I think he took A and B to calculate the size of my C. He could have just peered over the divider, that's what I did. It'd be crazy if that formula actually worked. But if you knew someone's height and shoe size, you could calculate their endowment. So like say I went to Foot Locker. The guy's like, "Okay, so let's measure your foot. So how tall are you? And how big is your penis?" And then I leave the store with shoes that are way too big. Because I lied to him. I'm skinny, but I'm too lazy to get jacked. I'm more lazy than I am insecure. I also think I would be a significantly worse person if I was jacked. I think my twink physique mitigates my grandiosity. I know a lot of women like guys with big arms and broad shoulders, and I actually covered that in the book I wrote. It's titled What Women Want and Why They Are So Misguided. It's part memoir, part manifesto. But I have been going back to the gym recently to make myself presentable for mating season. So within the next month or two, I should be looking like a hot piece of giraffe. I've also been trying to improve my jawline, so I've been going to sleep wearing a ball gag. Nothing too fancy, just your textbook red ball gag. Khakis in the streets, ball gag in the sheets. You know, I think women should compliment men more often. Specifically me, but I have been told I can be a little intimidating, so I've started wearing a backpack to weaken my aura. My mom, she's been on my case lately about getting a girlfriend, and my mother is a very nice lady. She dresses me quite well, but she's always pointing out attractive women on the street. I'm like, yeah, she's hot, mother, but is she wise? Does she have a certain joie de vivre? Because I live in the West Village, there's a million beautiful women, but they have no zest. And I'm not trying to insult any of these beautiful women who radiate no joy. Just saying I'm quite a vivacious fellow. I just think it's so sad that so many people today have lost the art of good conversation. Like, I don't want to hear about your transformative experience studying abroad in Madrid. I want to hear what you think about my semester in Barcelona. I have a roommate. He's a man. We have different beds. But a couple nights ago, he came into my room at 2 a.m. to take my phone charger. And I woke up and went, oh! Because I was wearing my ball gag. I am an unusual man. No one has ever told me that there's plenty of fish in the sea. All they say is your wife is going to be one weird fish. This is going to sound a little Freudian, but no one has ever told me that my mom is hot, and I wish that didn't bother me. Because people do tell me I look a lot like my mom. My friends often go to her for advice, and I'm like, yeah, she's wise, Andrew, but is she hot? I am the oldest of 3 in my family. I have 2 younger brothers, and I don't have any sisters, per my request. And although my mom did tell me she raised us like we were daughters, which probably explains why I love taking baths so much. I take my baths very seriously. No bubbles, no bullshit. I sit in there at a perfect 90-degree angle. I look like I'm driving a go-kart. My mom, I'm only first-generation Connecticut. My dad grew up in Illinois. My mom grew up in Oregon. She's like a big health nut woman. She loves health. Like growing up, we had a sauna in our basement, which sounds cool, but it isn't. Because having a sauna in the basement also means having a naked mom in the basement. And that sucks. Having a naked mom in the basement is only cool when it's not your mom. I would tell you the other weird stuff she's done, but she threatened to stop buying me clothes. Can't bite the hand that dresses me. I believe it was Confucius, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe it was Jason Derulo, who said, we have 2 lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. When I read that, I thought to myself, does Confucius ever miss? Because he is so money. I think about that a lot, especially with pursuing a dream and stuff like that. You know, because growing up, my friends weren't supportive when I started doing comedy. A friend came to a show and he told me I was never going to make it. And I said, how do you know? You've never done comedy. He said, I don't dance, but I know a bad one when I see one. Yeah, he's a cop, by the way. So back in 2020, I went to some of the protests, and I held up a sign with a picture of him that said, defund Brian. That night, I sent him a picture of the sign, and underneath it I wrote, Memento Mori. My name's Eric Walsh. Thank you very much.